and welcome. I hope everyone enjoyed that short video on what poor time management looks like. I know you are all hoping that that is not how the rest of this presentation will go. I hope not either. Let me introduce myself. My name is Cynthia Denise Granger, and I'm excited to be here at the annual Convoke Company meeting. To get started, I would like everyone to raise your hand if you have a wristwatch or a cell phone with you that helps you track what time it is. Yes, good, just as I had hoped. Most of you have some sort of tracking device with you. So my question to you is, do you have somewhere else to be? Or do you want to make sure that I do not waste too much of your time today? And there are a rare few of you that did not raise your hand. Are you lost? This is a presentation on time management, and you have nothing to remind you of how long you've been sitting here. So time. Time is, dare I say, is or should be treated as one of the most valuable commodities that we possess as human beings. Each day, one of us is granted 24 hours at midnight, and we are granted that same amount every day that we are alive. And here who couldn't use more of it? Yes, right? All of us. But time is a constant. You cannot gain more, no matter how hard you try, nor can you gain less, which may or may not be comforting to you depending on where you are in life. To show that I value all of your time today, I'm going to set my timer on my cell phone to make sure that I do not go over the 10-minute time allotment that I have with you. When I was growing up, I couldn't wait to be 21. And now that I am twice that age, I wish that time would slow down. Funny how that is. So where does all the time go? The answer to that question is not often well received. It gets spent however we choose to spend it. Because we have complete control over so much of our schedule, we can get quickly lost and overwhelmed. So I'd like to talk with you today about time management and some of the ways to help you get back that time. Okay? Why do we have to manage our time? One of the most important reasons to manage time is to achieve the goals and dreams that you have for your life. So being able to manage our time effectively is critical to making sure that we reach our goals and dreams as well as our well-being. As you saw in the video clip earlier, how poor time management can be a disaster. Have you said these words before? I do not have enough time. I am confident that we all have uttered those words at some point in our life. That is why we must learn how to manage the time that we have been given. In an article titled, "It's About Time, New Perspectives and Insights on Time Management," the author stated that time management has helped people organize their professional lives for centuries. I've done a lot of research into time management in my personal life as well as my professional life. I was part of a ladies group at one time that was reading a book, and the book told us to make a list of the priorities of the most important things in our lives and then put them in order of their rank of importance. After the list was ranked, we were to go back and evaluate what we actually spent our time on, and if what we said was important to us matched where we spent our time. It was disappointing to see the things that I most spent my time on was not what I had said was most important to me. I knew that this was a time for change. The reason I tell you this story is because you must have a reason, your why. for learning how to manage your time well. You can attend all the time management training there is. And if you do not have a desire or a reason to change how you spend your time, then nothing will change. So for those of you that do want to learn how to do this, there are many methods for managing your time well. And you will have to try out a few before finding out what works best for you. Do not get discouraged. Even time management takes time. So there are to-do lists. How many are list makers? Do you feel a sense of accomplishment when you check off that list? Yes, right, me too. Then a to-do list might be what works best for you. I make new to-do lists almost every other day at work. I will list in priority what did not get accomplished on the prior to-do list and add anything else that got added to my never-ending to-do list. And then right along with our to-do list, we have a to-don't list. These are the time wasters that you want to avoid. These can be difficult and very different for everyone. For me, it was hours spent lost scrolling social media or TikTok. And that precious time is time I can never get back. Also, tracking your time to shine light on where all your time really does go. You should track your time for a week or two, and that should give you a good picture of where your time is spent. Working from a calendar. I have several calendars that I look at daily. I have a wall dry erase calendar at work beside my desk so that items that are important, such as calls that I need to attend, are visually in front of me in case I'm not logged into my computer. I also have a calendar on my Outlook at work where I have my daily, weekly, and monthly tasks assigned so that I can get a reminder of these items to be completed. I do not dismiss that reminder until that item is complete. Then I have yet another calendar on my cell phone that I use for personal obligations, such as birthdays or my son's football games that I don't want to miss or be late for. There's another technique as well that's basically like time blocking. So you're taking and tracking how long tasks take you without interruptions and distractions by working on tasks for 25 minutes with no outside interruptions, and then taking a short break. For every 25 minutes it takes to do a task, you put down a mark so that you can gauge how long the task will take in the future. For every 25 minutes, you will take an even longer break of 20 to 30 minutes. If while doing this, you think of something that you need to attend or something else that you need to do, just write it down, and you can do that after your 25-minute focus session. I'm really kind of intrigued by this, and I'm actually going to be testing this out after this presentation, see how it works for me. There are some considerations that we want to discuss about time, and that's cultural time issues, how different cultures use time. Global entrepreneurs, traveling executives, virtual team members, and employees of international assignments must change their time zones. They've got to think about different business hours, how different time structures differ around the world. Even more so are the different time norms of the different cultures. So in these situations, it's best to be aware of what other cultures' time norms to be successful with time management. And then what about coworkers that don't manage their time well? There have been many occasions where I've had to remind coworkers that I had lots of work to get done and did not have time at the moment to discuss personal issues. Or when my manager requested something of me immediately because they forgot to get with me sooner to make the request. When these things happen, I have learned over the years that we have to speak up respectfully and let the ones making those requests of our time know if we truly are available to do that task or have that conversation right then. We will have to learn the hard discipline of declining extra tasks that we know that we do not have room for on our plate. If we're adding things to our day something is having to get neglected. I've also learned to ask the great question, when do you need this by? To make sure that I'll be able to meet their expectation. If I'm not, I will let them know, unfortunately, at this time, I would not be able to do that task and complete the other assignments that have been requested of me. So how do we keep this up? How do we stay on track? Time management is not something that you can just read about, listen to a 10-minute presentation, and put a few basic things in place to help manage your time well and then forget about it. This is a daily discipline and takes time and commitment to get a good system in place. It's like a budget for money. Seasons change, needs change, so we must adjust and account for these changes. We cannot use last year's budget. The same applies for time management. So in closing, I would like to thank you for allowing me to discuss the need for time management with you today. And my hope is that this will spark something inside of you. Leave from here, think about your big why, take your time, track your time for a few weeks, adjust, try new techniques, keep at it, and do not give up. Thank you so very much. And just so you know, I respected your time. Have a great day.